on Tampa Bay.
ABC Action News at 5 starts right now.
Live from the station taking action for you, this is ABC Action News.
Lots to catch you up on here at 5, including the local teacher just arrested for abusing young girls and why authorities fear there could be more victims.
Plus, the troubling video that just got a police officer fired for excessive force. And the motive witnesses believe led a man to shoot and kill his own former employee.
But first, rain moving through the Bay Area as we speak. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips tracking those storms this evening for us. Dennis.
Yeah, we had a severe thunderstorm watch across most of the area. We had severe thunderstorm warnings, and now the heaviest weather is across Highlands, Eastern Polk, Hardy, and DeSoto. The rest of the area is still picking up some light rain, but the worst is over in terms of the rainfall. Again, a lot of folks picked up between about a half an inch to maybe an inch of rain, but this is clearly the area from Lake Wales through Sebring, right on through Arcadia, where this heaviest weather continues to build. Here are some of those rainfall totals. About an inch of rain from Holiday over to Tarpon Springs, 3/4 around Clearwater. Some folks obviously not nearly as much. These rains just came in so quickly, didn't have much of an opportunity to really dump a large area of rain. But look at the winds. Wind gust in the last hour of 51 miles an hour in Hudson, 41 in Spring Hill. So a lot of wind, and we have had reports of damage from Bradenton up towards Spring Hill, Brooksville, and into Citrus County. Here's a look at your forecast tonight. A few more storms this evening, and then big changes for your holiday weekend. We'll talk about it coming up in a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, Dennis. You're looking live right now at the Skyway Bridge. High winds mean both directions of that bridge now closed. Anyone heading there will be turned away, so if you typically go this way, you'll need to find another route.
And you can stay on top of storms like these no matter where you are. Our Storm Shield app comes equipped with a live radar. It also sends you alerts about bad weather in your area to help keep you safe and informed. It's available for both Android and iPhone.
Now to some breaking news. Temple Terrace Police just wrapping up a news conference about an officer-involved shooting. We now know a suspect fired at police near 53rd Street, just north of Fowler. Unfortunately, no officers were injured. The suspected shooter now in the hospital after police returned fire. Our Carson Chambers is putting together a live report right now. She'll tell us what else police had to say in just a few minutes.
Also developing here at 5, a St. Petersburg middle school teacher is in jail accused of molesting 3 young girls.
That's right, and that teacher worked at Lawn Middle School. ABC Action News reporter Sarah Hollenbeck is live there right now. Sarah, detectives worry there could be even more victims out there, right?
They have an urgent message for parents tonight. They say talk to your kids. Not only has this teacher worked with the district for the past 8 years, but he came in contact with hundreds of young girls right here at this school in St. Pete. Stunned and disgusted, parents at Meadowlawn Middle School are angry to hear the charges against this man, 41-year-old Joseph Zavalnik, who taught science.
It's horrible. I think that is the most disgusting thing you can do. I mean, you're here teaching middle school kids. Like, what type of example are you putting on?
Hillary Franklin Keel says Zavalnik also coached her son's basketball team at the school. She pulled her son off the team because the coach made him feel uncomfortable.
There was rumors about him touching some of the girls at the school.
She was stunned to hear Zavalnik was arrested today, and the rumors may be true.
There we go. There you have it. And I told my son and my husband I knew something was not right with that man.
St. Pete police say Zavalnik molested 3 students. Detectives trace one incident all the way back to 2013.
So who knows how long this has been going on, but I'm glad the girl spoke up.
According to arrest reports, Zavalnik groped one of his students as she came into his classroom during a lunch detention 4 years ago. Then this past school year, he allegedly groped another 13-year-old student while she stood near a bookshelf. Arrest reports say the third girl, who was 14 years old, was inappropriately touched while inside his classroom.
Because he was a teacher, there's always the possibility that there could be more victims.
And that makes Franklin Keels nervous.
Like, talk to the kids, you know, let the kids know it's okay to speak up if something is happening, because this is sickening.
Now, district leaders say as soon as they found out the allegations against this teacher, they took him out of contact with other students, and they tell us he will not be teaching again in Pinellas County, no matter what happens next in court. Reporting live in St. Pete, I'm Sarah Hollenbeck, ABC Action News.
Sarah, thank you. Unfortunately, this is the second case we've learned about today of a local school worker abusing a child. Ahead at 6, the inappropriate behavior that deputies say took place on campus and how they found out about it. Jameson?
Into the newsroom within the last hour now. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office firing a deputy today after they say she lied to detectives about an attempted murder case. Carson Plank's firing marks the end to an internal investigation into her. Authorities say earlier this year, Plank tried to help ex-deputy Frank Bybee with a cover-up as investigators began to look into him for trying to kill a 79-year-old woman. Bybee was also arrested and fired. Fired for excessive force against a child. Clearwater police releasing new video here showing an officer throwing a 13-year-old boy face first into the concrete there. ABC Action News reporter Clifton French live for us tonight in Clearwater. And Clifton, you just spoke to the chief. What did he have to say?
Well, he says this video speaks for itself. He says the child was being unruly. He was cursing at officers, but throwing him face first into the concrete was just going too far. Now, this child did suffer a broken nose, broken teeth, and some scratches when his face hit the concrete. Now, the officer who takes the kid to the ground is named Michael Leonardo. He's been with the department for 4 years. He was in the Army for 8 years before that. This kid, he's in a group home. He's a ward of the state and was being arrested for battery. He has had a few run-ins with the law in the past. Officer Leonardo told the chief that the child tried to pull away from him, so he took him to the ground.
When you have two other officers there with a handcuffed prisoner, simply having another officer come up and grab him on the left side would have been a more appropriate response. So therefore, that's why I believe the takedown was excessive and not necessary, and I believe that when you have a juvenile who's 5'6", 150, and an officer who's 5'8", 200 pounds, and two other officers there, that we should be able to control that prisoner on the way to the car without having to go to a takedown.
Now, those two other officers who are in this video were also retrained because of what happened after the incident. That's because the kid was bleeding. They had him sit outside of the cruiser. He started rolling around on the ground. The chief says they could have just handled that situation much better. Now, it's also worth noting that there was no complaint of excessive force from anybody to the police department. They did their own investigation. Whenever there's a use of force, they do their own investigations. The police department found that video, and they took action holding their own department accountable. I want to tell you this happened on April 2nd. This officer was terminated on Monday. I'm reporting live in Clearwater. Clifton French, ABC Action News.
Clifton, thank you. Right now, British police are working around the clock to prevent another terror attack after Monday's deadly bombing outside of an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester. You're looking at video from one of the several raids around the area to root out any possible accomplices in that attack that killed 22 people. Officers detained 5 people, including the brother of the suspected suicide bomber. Police are almost certain he did not act alone and are investigating his ties to a wider terror network.
Tampa police telling us within the last 20 minutes the name of the man killed in a shooting at a Tampa auto body shop. But the man who police believe shot Benjamin Rodriguez Barrel is still not being charged. ABC Action News reporter Ashley Yore live outside AA Auto Body right now on Columbus Drive. So Ashley, the shop owner actually shot that former employee, right?
That's right, Wendy. Police now telling me that the owner here, 34-year-old Alex Glenn Alfonso, shot a former employee. And police say something they rarely see, Alfonso actually came back to the scene to turn himself in.
I'm shocked right now because I can't still believe it. I can't still believe it. The guy was a worker, was a good worker.
Disbelief, grief, and a major response from police after a shooting around 10:30 this morning here outside AA Auto Body on Columbus Drive.
The guy that got shot, he was the employee. And the guy who shot him was the owner.
Julian says he knew the shooter.
It is scary, and I knew the guy personally. He was a very mild guy, so that really shocks me that happens. You know, I'm shocked right now.
And in a move that shocked police, they say this man, their main suspect, fled, then came back to the crime scene.
It is very unusual that somebody would just, within the hour, come back to the crime scene.
The victim died. Now people who knew both men are wondering why this happened.
I think it was about a relationship. It was about a lady in the middle, in between, something like that.
The Tampa police are still investigating and haven't charged Alfonso. Reporting live here in Tampa, I'm Ashley Yore, ABC Action News.
Ashley, thank you. Right now, President Donald Trump is on the final stop of his 9-day international trip, arriving in Brussels, Belgium, after meeting Pope Francis. The two leaders meeting for the very first time in the Pope Library in Vatican City today and exchanging gifts. Before he left, the president told the Pope he won't forget what he told him. Tomorrow, he'll meet with the King and Queen of Belgium and then head to a NATO summit.
We just checked, and a Seffner man found with almost 400 marijuana plants in his home is still in jail tonight. Hillsborough County deputies say Orestes Garcia transformed 3 rooms of his Dunquin Place home into a grow house, complete with lights and a watering system. Tico says since at least last December, he stole nearly $10,000 in electricity. Garcia is facing theft and drug trafficking charges. A lot still ahead at 5, including the item you depend on to keep your child safe that could end up hurting them instead. Plus this.
Affordable housing without money down. One new incentive for home buyers in Polk County. Find out where next.
And here's a live look from our live drive camera at Ben T. Davis Beach. Wow, look at those winds and waves. The wind still pushing up those waves on shore. Our chief meteorologist, Dennis Phillips, updates your forecast coming up. Stay with us.
ABC Action News is now on Roku. Add our free channel today.
An urgent consumer alert now all parents need to hear. Thousands of car seats might put your child at risk of getting hurt. We're talking about more than 25,000 of these Graco MyRide 65 seats, which might not properly restrain children. Graco says anyone with one of these seats can get a free replacement kit that will help you repair your seat. And we first let you know about this recall through our push alert on our ABC Action News mobile app. Our app has a list of all the affected models and a link to more details on that recall.
Well, good news for families in Ybor City hoping to spend their holiday weekend by the pool. Take a listen to this. Tampa leaders tell us repairs on the historic Cascaden pool will be done in time for it to reopen by Memorial Day. Since we first told you about this last week, the pool was temporarily closing. We now know it's partially filled, and contractors are working on improving the ramp rails at the shallow end. Lakeland is trying to get rid of crime by building some new homes.
That's right. That a new initiative coming from the redevelopment agency. And home buyers know that you can benefit out there.
Yeah, new at 5, ABC Action News reporter Andrea Lyon shows us how you could move into a brand new home without any money down.
Well, we're renting at the moment.
Excitement and stress, just two of the many feelings that come over you when house hunting.
It'd be a really convenient neighborhood for us.
But for Jennifer Sabin, stress has fallen as low as the price tags for Lincoln Square.
We can live here for like less than 2/3 of what we're paying in rent, and we own the place.
Construction hasn't started yet, but behind this fence, homes in the low 100,000s will be coming this summer.
21 single-family houses that are going on that 5-acre site.
Nicole Travis and the rest of the redevelopment agency started the Lincoln Square housing project back in 2011.
We're trying to encourage home ownership in our redevelopment area.
Demolishing crime-ridden apartments with the idea of cleaning up the neighborhood surrounding it.
So it's 20% of the sales price and not to exceed the Lakeland area medium price.
Adding an extra incentive for those who otherwise may overlook the area.
So that is affordable family housing.
People already living around Lincoln Avenue tell ABC Action News they're not sure the plan will work.
There has been a lot of crime rate.
Mykesha Button has been broken into multiple times.
I'm not sure how many people are going to want to stay once they see the neighborhood.
But with high interest.
The list, I understand, is growing.
And low prices.
We have over 200 people on our interested buyers list.
Jennifer believes the 5-acre lot will be filled before Lincoln Square even breaks ground.
So we're on the list waiting to see what happens.
In Lakeland, Andrea Lyon, ABC Action News.
And we'll put a link to the application for the Lincoln Square housing project on our website at abcactionnews.com. Let's go ahead now and get back to that breaking news. Temple Terrace police saying a suspected shooter is in the hospital after an officer-involved shooting.
Yeah, fortunately, no officers were injured in that. Our Carson Chambers live in Temple Terrace tonight, walking us through the chain of events out there. Carson?
Right, well, you can see the scene just behind us. This is a very, very busy part of Fowler, right off North 53rd Street. It is still taped off because FDLE is investigating. Basically, what happened today is an officer, his name is Officer Courtney Baldwin. He's a 5-year veteran. He pulled a car over, and then a passenger in the back seat of the car, unbeknownst to him, had a gun. At that point, the officer walked back to his vehicle, and that passenger, that suspect, according to Temple Terrace Police, opened fire on that officer. At that time, the officer returned fire and actually shot that suspect. We are told in the leg, and he was transported to Tampa General Hospital. Luckily, that officer was not hit. He was very, very lucky. You could see the bullet holes we just showed you in this windshield, and then a lot of folks out here investigating. This all started with an armed robbery last night, we are told. Temple Terrace Police believe this same suspect robbed 2 people outside the Bulls Discount Liquor, which is not far from here, and they say they were putting surveillance on him, and once they pulled that car over, that is when this all happened. Back to you.
A lot of rain out there right now.
Yeah, heaviest in our interior counties. You know, you can never get enough.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we're always hoping for more. Some folks about an inch, some folks not nearly as much. But I think by the end of today into tonight, we will finally begin to see some changes into the holiday weekend, where I think most folks are looking for a lot of sunshine. Pretty impressive time lapse there from Rivergate. And the one thing that we wanted to show you, and we mentioned this a couple of minutes ago as well, there's still some serious surf issues across much of the area. In fact, we've had a lot of reports of coastal flooding in Citrus County and also up in Levy County, where actually 3 houses were flooded in Levy County. So the problem is what you've got there with our live drive. You can see the waves crashing in on that vehicle. I think they should probably move that, don't you think? I mean, it's going to be some issues there shortly, especially with any kind of brackish or saltwater coming into the area. All in all, though, things are pretty quiet across the interior areas up north, where that front is now moving through. But all in all, it was a wild ride for about a half hour, 45 minutes. We went from the possibility of a tornado watch to a severe thunderstorm watch to severe thunderstorm warnings. As that line continues to move on east, it'll take most of the heavy weather along with it. So bottom line, if you pretty much live anywhere west of this spot right here, the worst is over. And I know a lot of folks are saying, well, man, we need some more rain. You're right, we do, but we are getting closer to the rainy season. Another couple of weeks, and we should be in it. So there is the front, or for that matter, the energy out ahead of the front, with the heaviest rain, even some severe thunderstorm warnings still in effect over on the East Coast. It extends down through southeastern Polk. Highlands County, you are still right in the middle of it. It takes about 2-3 hours for you to see it compared to folks up north. And from Sebring down to Lake Placid over to Arcadia, that's where this heaviest weather continues to move very quickly out of the picture. Now, here's some of those rainfall totals. Like I said, unfortunately, there are some spots that really didn't get much of any in terms of measurable. Everybody got rain, but unfortunately, the measurable rain was about an inch for most of Pasco in the areas that are shaded dark green. Tarpon Springs, the lighter green, is about an inch of rain down through Clearwater over to St. Pete, Bradenton area, where we did see a couple of reports of some thunderstorm wind damage as well. Those winds gusted up to about 50 miles an hour. So temperatures right now, upper 70s to mid 80s. But those winds, as we said, we had a report out of Hudson last hour of a 51 mile an hour gust, still gusting in Spring Hill up near 40. I mean, those are tropical storm force winds. So this is some nasty wind that'll continue tonight into tomorrow before things wind down beautifully just in time for the holiday weekend. So still rain at all reporting stations from Tampa to Clearwater and St. Pete. We're in the mid-70s. There's a look at the satellite picture. Like I said, the heaviest weather rolled on through this afternoon. So the timing was about right. Most folks got their morning things done without having to worry about rain. And then by early to mid-afternoon, the storms came in and quickly have moved off to the east. So Futurecast shows by 8 o'clock tonight, the bulk of the heaviest rain will be over. I still think you're going to see some scattered showers tonight and into tomorrow. Little lines will come on through. So by tomorrow morning, I think most of this will be gone. Skies quickly clear, maybe some clouds first thing in the morning, but the rest of Thursday looks great. And then in time for your holiday weekend, you have plans for Memorial Day. How about it? Grilling, the beach, whatever you've got planned, the weather will be beautiful. Humidity a little bit lower as well. But The winds are going to be gusty, northwest at 15, and that's later on tomorrow. They'll be 25 up until through the morning. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Small craft advisories remain in effect until the afternoon. There are your tides, your sunrise, and your sunset. So hour by hour, still some showers and storms until about 2, 3 a.m. But by tomorrow morning, things will be quiet. A look at Florida's most accurate 7-day forecast. Rain tomorrow, and then we're good to go through Memorial Day with high temperatures back up near 90, and then early next week, late day storms return. Again, highs around 90 degrees.
All right, thanks, Dan. Still ahead, the staggering number of illegal alligator eggs found in an undercover sting, and the reason authorities say poaching like this hurts everyone.
A man in charge of students at this Hernando County middle school arrested for having sex with one of them. New at 6 how authorities found out, and the other job that gave him access to kids.
Welcome back. Florida Fish and Wildlife officers just letting us know about an alligator poaching ring uncovered in a years-long investigation.
Yeah, and tonight they say 9 men now under arrest for illegally harvesting gator eggs. We're told FWC officers went undercover at an illegal alligator farming community where criminals raised hatchlings just like these. Take a look. Since 2015, the officers found a total of 10,000 illegal alligator eggs. FWC says a crime like this could potentially wreak havoc on Florida's natural resources because the state cannot manage gators it does not know about.
Well, as if you needed another reason to reach for your favorite candy bar, new research out of Harvard says eating a small amount of chocolate on a regular basis may decrease your risk for a common and possibly deadly heart condition. The study followed more than 50,000 people and found people who ate chocolate 1 to 3 times per month were about 10 times less likely to be diagnosed with atrial fibrillation, or AFib. As many as 6 million Americans have AFib, which can increase your risk for blood clots, strokes, and heart failure.
Protecting kids walking to school, the changes one community pushed for to make their neighborhood streets safer.
Neighbors say this home is causing a rat problem, and they believe the way county leaders are handling the issue stinks. What's next for this home? Coming up.
It's probably the biggest thing I've ever done.
Big break, a brief appearance millions could see that a local teen hopes will launch a long future.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Lakeland Toyota. Save more on I-4.